Picture this. You're at an ATM at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night, and you just got hit with a $35 overdraft fee because you miscalculated by $4.12. You feel that familiar spike of anger and shame, that tightness in your chest. Now imagine that exact same scenario, except this time you have $20,000 sitting in your savings account. You know what happens? Nothing. You don't care. You don't even check your balance. And that difference, that fundamental shift in how your brain processes money stress, is costing American banks roughly $17 billion a year. There's a specific dollar amount where you stop being a profitable customer to your bank, where you go from being an asset on their spreadsheet to basically dead weight. And the really wild part, it's not even that high. My name is Megan, I'm an accountant, and here I share smart financial tips that anyone can implement today. If you're tired of feeling like your bank is working against you instead of for you, and you want to understand exactly how to break free from their profit model, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like if you find this helpful. Now, before we get into why $20,000 is the magic number, let me paint you a picture of what we're actually dealing with here. You know that feeling when you're at the grocery store and you're doing mental math in your head? Like, okay, if I get the name brand cereal that's $6.49 instead of the store brand that's $3.99, and I skip the ice cream, I should still be under $80, which means I won't overdraw before Friday. Or when your friend suggests going out to dinner and you immediately start calculating whether you can afford the $40 it'll cost. But you also don't want to be that person who always says no. So you go anyway and just order the cheapest thing on the menu and say you're not that hungry. Or my personal favorite, when your check engine light comes on and instead of taking your car to the mechanic immediately, like a normal person, you spend 3 days Googling whether it's something you can ignore for a few more months, because you know you don't have the $400 to $1,200 it's probably going to cost. That's the reality for about 64% of Americans right now, living in what I call the financial anxiety loop. And here's what most people don't realize. Banks have built their entire business model around keeping you in that loop. Here's what actually happens behind the scenes. Retail banking, the kind of banking that regular people like you and me use, has a really interesting profit structure. Banks don't make most of their money from responsible customers with healthy savings accounts. They make it from people who are perpetually struggling. In 2023, American banks collected $11.7 billion just from overdraft fees. That's just one fee type. Add in credit card interest, late payment fees, insufficient funds charges, and courtesy overdraft protection programs, and you're looking at an industry that pulls in tens of billions of dollars annually from financial stress. But here's where it gets really interesting. There's a threshold, a specific point, where you become basically worthless to them. Multiple financial analysts have studied this, and the number keeps coming back to somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000 in liquid savings. But I'm going to focus on $20,000 because that's where something remarkable happens in your brain, not just in the bank's profit margins. See, when you have $20,000 saved, you stop needing almost every product that banks actually make money from. Let me show you exactly how this works. Imagine two different versions of you. Version A has $800 in checking, $0 in savings. Version B has $3,000 in checking, $17,000 in savings. Same person, same income, different financial position. Version A gets hit with an unexpected $400 car repair. They don't have it, so they put it on a credit card at 22% APR. That $400 charge costs the bank basically nothing to extend. But over the next year, if they just make minimum payments, they'll pay roughly $88 in interest. The bank just made $88 from your broken alternator. Version B, they pay cash. They transfer $400 from savings to checking, handle it, move on. Bank profit, $0. Now multiply that across every financial emergency, every unexpected expense, every oh crap moment that happens in a normal year. Version A is generating revenue constantly. Overdraft here, credit card interest there, maybe a payday loan if things get really tight, possibly a high-interest auto loan because their credit score is damaged from all the late payments. Version B, they're basically invisible to the bank's profit model. But here's the part that will absolutely blow your mind. The difference between these two versions isn't their income, it's not their job, it's not even their spending habits. It's literally just that $20,000 buffer. Studies on financial stress and decision-making have shown that having even $10,000 saved reduces financial anxiety by about 47%. But something specific happens around the $20,000 mark. Your entire decision-making framework shifts. You stop operating in survival mode and start operating in opportunity mode. When you're in survival mode, every decision is short-term. You're constantly plugging holes. You buy the cheapest thing now, even though it'll cost more long-term. You take the first job offer you get because you can't afford to wait for a better one. You stay in situations, jobs, relationships, apartments that aren't great because the cost of change feels too risky. When you have $20,000 saved, you start thinking in terms of opportunity cost. You can wait for a better job because you have 6 to 8 months of expenses covered. You can negotiate your salary because walking away doesn't mean immediate disaster. You can buy quality items that last instead of cheap items you'll replace 3 times. That shift, that fundamental change in how you think about money makes you a terrible bank customer. Here's what I mean by that. Let's say you're currently making $65,000 a year. Your bank would love for you to get a new car. They've got amazing financing options. They'll even pre-approve you for $35,000. At 6.5% interest over 72 months, you're looking at monthly payments around $600. And over the life of that loan, you'll pay about $8,100 in interest. That's pure profit for them. But if you have $20,000 saved, you have what I call walking away money. You can buy a $15,000 used car in cash, or you can negotiate way better terms on financing because you're not desperate. You can put $10,000 down and finance $10,000 at a much better rate for a much shorter term. The bank loses thousands in potential interest. And this pattern repeats everywhere. Credit cards, you don't need to carry a balance when you have savings. You use them for points and pay them off monthly. Overdraft protection, completely useless when you've got a buffer. Personal loans, why would you take one at 12% when you can use your own money at 0%? Even mortgages become less profitable for banks because you can afford a bigger down payment and negotiate better rates. I've read probably 37 books on behavioral finance at this point, which is either impressive or deeply concerning depending on who you ask. And one pattern shows up over and over. People don't just change their behavior when they hit financial milestones. They change their identity. They start thinking of themselves differently. You're no longer someone who's bad with money or someone who lives paycheck to paycheck. You become someone who has their finances handled. And that identity shift is permanent. It becomes part of how you see yourself. This is where most people completely miss the real power of that $20,000. It's not just emergency money, it's freedom money, it's confidence money, it's I don't have to take this money. I've seen this happen countless times. Someone builds up their savings to $20,000, and within months, they're asking for a raise they should have requested years ago. Or they finally leave a toxic job. Or they start a side business. Or they go back to school. That money in the bank isn't just sitting there earning 4% interest. It's actively changing how they move through the world. Let me give you a concrete example. Sarah, hypothetical person, but based on real patterns I've observed, makes $58,000 a year as a marketing coordinator. She's been at her company for 4 years, hasn't gotten a real raise in 3. She knows she's underpaid. She knows she should ask for more or leave. But she's got $2,400 in savings and $8,000 in credit card debt. The thought of rocking the boat or starting a job search feels terrifying because she can't afford to be unemployed for even 1 month. So she stays, quietly resentful, accepting the annual 2% cost of living adjustment that doesn't even keep up with inflation. Now imagine Sarah 2 years later. Same job, but she's been aggressively saving. She's paid off the credit cards and built her savings to $21,000. Her boss offers her that same insulting 2% raise, but this time she counters with a number that reflects her actual market value, a 15% increase. Her boss balks. And here's the thing, Sarah doesn't panic. She doesn't back down. She calmly explains her value, points to her accomplishments, and makes it clear she's prepared to explore other options. She gets the raise, not because she became a better employee overnight, but because she had the financial cushion to take that risk. That negotiation just earned her an extra $8,700 per year, every year for the rest of her career at that company, and it set a new baseline for all her future jobs. The bank would have much preferred the first version of Sarah. That version needs them. This version doesn't. Now, you might be thinking, Megan, $20,000 sounds completely impossible. I can barely save $100 a month. How is someone supposed to get there? And I get it. That number feels enormous when you're starting from zero. But here's what most people don't realize about the psychology of saving. Your first $1,000 is brutally hard, like legitimately the hardest $1,000 you will ever save, because you're fighting against your entire financial identity, every habit you've ever had, every temptation, every emergency. It feels like pushing a boulder up a mountain. But once you hit $1,000, something clicks. You've proven to yourself that you can do it. The next $1,000 comes faster. By the time you hit $5,000, you've built momentum. Your brain has rewired itself around saving. You've automated your systems. You've cut the expenses that don't matter and kept the ones that do. And the weirdest part? The jump from $5,000 to $20,000 feels easier than the jump from $0 to $5,000, even though it's 3 times the distance. Because at that point, compound interest starts helping. Your savings earn interest. You get better at avoiding unnecessary expenses. You start seeing opportunities to increase your income that you couldn't see before. But here's where most people mess this up, and I see it constantly. They hit $10,000 or $15,000 saved, they're feeling good about themselves, and they decide they deserve a reward. Maybe it's a vacation, maybe it's a new car, maybe it's a kitchen renovation, and they blow $8,000 of their savings on something that gives them a temporary hit of pleasure, but costs them years of financial freedom. Or they decide that now's the perfect time to start investing aggressively. So they dump their emergency fund into individual stocks or crypto because someone on Reddit convinced them they're missing out on gains. And then, inevitably, an actual emergency hits. They don't have the cash. They're forced to sell investments at a loss, or worse, they're back on the credit cards. They've reset themselves back to square one. Here's what you need to understand. That $20,000 is not investment money. It's not treat yourself money. It's not even opportunity money in the traditional sense. It's foundation money. It's the bedrock that everything else in your financial life gets built on. You don't touch it unless you absolutely have to. And once you have it, Once you've crossed that threshold, the goal becomes protecting it and building on top of it. You can start investing after you hit that number. You can take calculated risks. You can make bigger moves, but that $20,000 stays put. And here's the kicker. Once you have it, once you've actually built that foundation, you'll understand why banks hate it so much. Because you'll stop seeing their products as solutions and start seeing them for what they actually are: profit centers designed to extract money from financial stress. You'll stop needing them to solve your problems because you'll have solved your own problems. They'll send you credit card offers, pre-approved loans, invitations to exclusive banking services, and you'll throw them in the trash because you don't need any of it. The entire banking industry is built on the assumption that most people will never get there, that most people will stay in that anxiety loop forever, generating fees and interest payments and revenue. The moment you break out, you've stopped being a profitable customer. You've become someone they can't monetize. And that, more than anything else, is why they hate people with $20,000 saved. You've figured out the game. You've opted out of their profit model. You've won. So start building that foundation today, not for your bank, for yourself, for the version of you that exists 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now. That person is counting on the decision you make right now, and trust me, they'll thank you for it. Your first $20,000 isn't just money in an account. It's freedom in numerical form.